guess you get asked quite a lot, like, what was Dio like to work with?
Hmm.
And I or as you know, you hear all these stories. He was an amazing guy, and everyone just says how lovely he was and stuff. But yeah, but as a musician, what was he like?
No, he's a great musician. I mean, that's one of the things about him that people probably don't realize. I mean, yes, obviously he was one of the greatest singers of all time, but no, he knew music. I mean, he played trumpet. He was a bass player as well. He could play guitar. And he had a great musical mind and a great musical catalog inside of him. He had so much to draw on, that musically he was very, 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 very capable, and just a great instincts. So I mean, as a musician, there was never any question that he was able to, stand on his own with anybody.
So you say with the bass, what was he like? Because obviously he played the bass. What was he like with you? From that,
Oh,
bass player to
well,
bass
I mean,
player.
he was very self-effacing about his bass playing. He would. I don't. I mean, I'm sure at some point he must have said, "Try this" or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, he was actually very respectful to me about that. And he was respectful to everybody that he played with about their instruments, and never tried to act like he would tell you what to do or play, or I mean, it was never like that. He was just a great collaborative musician that, not only were we friends, but we had a great working relationship, and it was very cool.
I'm gutted I never got to meet him. I know because I know Doug Aldridge very well, and he was like, "Oh, you would have gotten so well with him," and so
Oh
yeah,
yeah. He was just a great guy, great sense of humor,
yeah,
really funny. Um, yeah, great guy. Miss him.
yeah. I can imagine. So, you've had a varied career. You've probably got lots of great stories. Any chance of a book?
Um, Honestly, I am actually working on a book right now, but it has nothing to do with my life. Well, no, it does indirectly, but I'm actually writing a yoga book at the moment because,
You love your yoga. I saw that on
uh,
your Instagram.
yeah, I do, and I've even been teaching a meditation class on Monday nights, which is pretty cool. If you go to yoga at hotforyogascv.com,
Yeah.
there's links to the virtual classes, and yeah, I've been doing a virtual meditation class every Monday night, and it's been very, very cool. So, anyways, I am writing a book about yoga,
Yeah.
um, but I there's a little bit of biographical material in it, but I would say, I don't know. I just I don't think I'm enough of a superstar to for anybody to really be interested in my life. I think I'm just being realistic. I mean,
Really?
it would be yeah. I feel it would be presumptuous to think people would be all that interested in my life.
No, don't be silly. They would love, they would
Well,
definitely
I
be
mean,
interested in that.
maybe 10 people would. My
Well, it's
family.
people.
Well, there you go. That's true. God, some of these projects I do, who knows if more than 10 people are even listening?
Oh God, don't. So a yoga book is really interesting. So when did yoga come into the picture then?
Oh, I've been doing yoga for 43 years. I had a back
Before it
injury
was trendy.
way before it was trendy, yes. And yeah, I had a back injury. Somebody told me to do it. I spent 3 hours on my back, unable to move. And in that time, I decided I was going to do something. And I was only 20. So, anyways, so I started doing it, fell in love with it, have made a lifelong commitment to it. And feel that it's been so important for keeping me sane, because I'm a fairly neurotic individual, you know. But it's really kept me sane, and kept me focused, and gives me great energy. And so yoga and meditation are really important in my life. And yeah, and I'm writing a book that I think could apply to a lot of people, which is what yoga does on a day-to-day basis. And that's my book. Who knows when I'll be done with it? I'm about halfway through.
And have you got a publisher for it?
No, no, no,
Oh
no,
yeah, okay, cool.
not that far. I do have an editor that has been helping me out immensely. So when the time comes, I'll have something at least legitimate to
Yeah.
to give them to read. But yeah, I mean, I'm not in any hurry. This is the kind of stuff that the post touring life is gonna use a little more of. So I'm just working towards that.
Have you read Jeff Bridges' book, The Dude and the Zen Master?
No,
Oh,
I
you
gotta
should
have
read it. It's amazing because he's very
I
spiritual and into meditation and stuff. So it's fantastic. It's about him and his Zen master.
that does sound really good. Great. It's called what's it called?
Jeff
Plug
Bridges,
it.
The Dude and the Zen Master. I
Dude.
think you'd enjoy it. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it
Sounds
might even give
sounds
you
like I
some
would actually.
ideas. So what kind of yoga do you do?
I mean, I basically just very traditional, hatha yoga for the postures, and then Raja yoga or just standard yoga meditation. It's been around for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Nothing particular. There is my wife teaches Bikram yoga, and and at that website, yoga at hotforyogascb.com, she also has virtual classes of Bikram yoga and Pilates and things like that. But my personal practice is mostly just a regular hatha yoga and then very traditional yoga meditation.
That's fantastic. So you are you doing this every day, your yoga and your
Oh yes,
meditation?
every day. I do 2 yoga sessions a day every day.
And have you managed when you've been on tour to do that every day as well?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Have you ever managed to get any of the other bands or the members involved in it as well?
You know, my guru was very explicit about not being the kind of guy that goes around telling people what they should do.
Okay, I know what
you
type.
know,
Yeah.
if they come to you to ask, talk away, but don't push it. Let people do that on their own. I feel everybody's responsible and capable of making their own decisions. So
Mhm.
no, we've talked about it. People have asked me questions. Can't help it when you've been on the road for people with people for years. But as a rule, they have their own ways of centering, and that's cool.
No, that's great. I think it's wonderful that you do that as well. It's always good to have hobbies outside of the music, so that's
Right,
cool.
right.
So, as you know, as we were saying, I'm a beginner with the guitar. Is there any tips that you can give me to sort of help me?
Um, well, I'll give you a couple general things. I don't know what you play like or anything, but I'll tell you this. Um, find music you really enjoy to play to,
Yeah.
and then just learn it. Just work on it. And it should be fun. Make sure it's fun because a lot of people fall into habits that make it not so fun.
Hmm.
And you don't want to do that. Make it fun. What does it take? What does it take with my hands? What does it take uh the approach that I'm using, can I relax my hand more? Can I do whatever it takes to make it fun and feel good because it's all about feeling good.
Great. That's good advice because I've definitely been in those moments where my guitar teacher is getting too much theory on me and no, you've got to have your hand in this position and that. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you're right. You just got to chuck all that out the window and have some fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, keep it in the subconscious because he's telling you that for a reason.
Yeah.
But don't let it become uh don't let that distraction take you away from being connected with the music
Yeah.
because that's the important part is the connection with the music, whatever it takes to get that.
Fantastic. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was
Oh,
lovely to see
pleasure.
you again.
Yes, lovely to see you again as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful,
No,
and good luck on your guitar studies.
thank you. And I'm going to be checking out your meditation classes on Mondays.
Oh, fabulous! Please do. It's wonderful. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
brilliant. Okay, take care.
Kylie, thank you so much. Talk soon.
Yeah,
Bye
it's
bye.